My name is Stephen Capps with Leviathan Snakes, and today I wanted to talk about creating a marketing plan for a new ball python breeder. The first step in developing an effective marketing plan is to identify and establish a specific, time-driven, and measurable goal. And for us at Leviathan Snakes, this is our first year producing ball pythons. And because of that, we don't want to associate our marketing objective with a specific dollar amount or number or anything like that. Instead, we want to keep it really, really simple. And our 2021 marketing plan objective is to sell every snake that we produce that's not a holdback or anything for at least the retail value. Once you have your specific objective, the next step is to move into market analysis. And in order to do this, you want to do a lot of research. But with the internet and with all of the information that's at our fingertips, it's not that hard to do. So we are going to be looking at producing a bunch of bananas and albinos, hopefully, this year. And by looking at those two morphs, we can search the internet through Morph Market, social media, pretty much any kind of outlet that you would find information about reptiles and see the prevalence of albinos and bananas. So the information that we are wanting to find is average costs, like retail costs for these different morphs, because that's going to let us know roughly how much we should be pricing the animals once we produce them. In addition to the cost, we also want to look at how prevalent are they in the current market, because if there's a limited supply, then it becomes easier for us to sell them because anybody who's looking for it, we don't have as much competition. And if there are hundreds of people selling these morphs, then we have to find other ways to make ourselves stand out. And the way that you make yourself stand out often is through the sales and marketing channels that you choose to use. And in 2020, end of 2020, going into 2021, the big ways that we have noticed as consumers are Morph Market, as for pretty much any online sale, Reptile Conventions, which are really, really good because you are able to get in front of a ton of people without doing a whole lot of work, but they're limited. They're only a couple times a year and it costs a lot of money to do them. And then finally is social media, which may not necessarily cost money, but you can't just make a social media account trying to sell reptiles and expect to sell them. Instead, you have to put in a lot of work and effort and time. The last way that we've seen and we've bought snakes is through kind of local classified ads, and this can be from Craigslist, from Facebook Marketplace, things like that. Pretty much just the local market and what's available around there. So when you are doing your market analysis, our very first step is establish what are the average prices, and it's not necessarily what's the lowest price, but by looking at the last few months or so and establishing that the average price might be $300, even if there might be one seller who's selling theirs, whatever the morph is, for $250. So once we establish our price and we establish where we are going to try to sell the snakes, then that's going to outline subtasks for us. And this is going into the execution stage of your marketing plan. So for us, we plan on doing a lot of our marketing through social media, as well as a couple local reptile conventions in the 2021 year. So once we have this information, we know that we need to be posting regularly on social media. We need to be engaging followers, and we need to just be building relationships, because the only way that somebody's willing to buy a pet from you, especially a snake, because snakes aren't like a puppy or a cat, they require care and knowledge to it, is if they trust you. So we need to establish trust and rapport through social media, so that way, hopefully, once it's time for us to produce some hatchlings, we have customers who want to buy from us. The next option, being reptile conventions, we need to understand the entire process that goes into and the regulations surrounding selling reptiles at a convention. So we need to find the dates for these conventions, figure out how far we're willing to travel, get any equipment that we need, because it's not like we can just come there with the snakes in a bag and just throw them on the table. We have to have a display box or those little deli cup things that are clear that you put them in, and be able to have a setup as well as a way to accept payment, because most of the time when we go to conventions, we're paying with our card, and if we don't have a way to accept credit cards, we're going to be losing out on a huge portion of the potential customers at any given convention. And then finally, the last one being that we're really considering is Morph Market. So we need to be able to establish a Morph Market page, pay whatever fees, and calculate those fees into our overall expenses, and make sure that we are taking good enough pictures that we can catch the people's interest when they are looking for whatever specific morph it is that we are listing. Once we finally have all of these different aspects of our marketing plan down, we want to literally write it on whether it's Word document or just hand jamming it. So that way we have a clear guide on how we are going to function throughout the whole FY 2021 year. So at the very end of 2021, we can look back at our plan and clearly see what timelines we hit, what we missed, what milestones we hit, and what milestones we missed. And what that information does is it lets us refine our approach as well as adjust things that didn't work for us. So that way, when 2022 rolls around, we're not just doing the exact same thing. We can look at our plan and look at the exact measurements that we chose to track and know if we were successful, and if we were not successful, find ways to improve or change our goals so that way it's something that's more manageable. I know this was a bit of a short video, but we're trying to post something at least once a week, and I'm pretty excited about marketing. If you found this valuable, or if you just enjoy the channel, we would really appreciate it if you subscribed, hit the like button, and left a comment below. The likes and the comment really help this video rise in YouTube's algorithms. So please help us out and hit that like button. As well, if you're not following us on Instagram, it is Leviathan_snakes. That's where we're at most of the time. We try to post daily, and you can send us a message. If you want to do a sticker swap, just feel free to reach out. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.